I think the only way we think that someone has stopped living is when we stop to see them physically. But the truth is that many of us have stopped living. We started existing. When you stop living is when you stop to have drive, when you stop to have purpose. It feels like a burden for you to wake up without actually thinking of what's next or making plans or having the joy to actually carry on. You stop living. That is just existing. And many of us are in that stage, especially people who are young. If you talk to many young people, you will discover that many of them are just existing. No drive, no sense of urgency, no purpose. And sometimes you blame them, you think that they are lazy, you think that they don't want to do what is right. The truth is that many of us have lost our steps. I have been there. I had to come to terms to the fact that I am no longer living, I'm existing. And I found myself telling God that I am ready to live. I'm ready to live because I discovered that there is more that I can do. There is more that is in me. This video was supposed to be released like some weeks ago, and because I didn't have that sense of urgency or that reason to, get up in the morning and do something new, I did not release this video. I woke up and I saw someone already release the same video with almost the same title, talking of almost the same thing. That's because somebody was almost going to replace me. And I thought to myself, these are the questions I've been asking. Now that I've found the answers, why not also share with people that I once went to share my problems with? In fact, for the last 3 years, right, I relocated my life to Christ. It has been amazing, especially for the first few years. But because of the fact that gradually I stopped loving to live, I actually forgot what it is to pray, to read your Bible. In fact, whenever I see Christians, people who I once enjoy working with or relations with as Christians, I begin to feel like they are pretending. I feel like they are not telling people the truth. In fact, whenever I see a Christian video, I find myself arguing. I'm like, oh, this person is not even telling people the real deal. He's not telling people the real thing they need to hear. People, they think that Christianity is just easy. I was in that position. Imagine that journey from total belief, joy, peace, to that place of questioning the existence of everything you once believed. And the most tricky part of it is that I didn't question the fact that if God is real, I knew that He was real. But I removed myself from the equation. I removed myself outside of it. So I felt He was real for my neighbors, He was real for my friends, but He was not real for me because I felt like, oh, I've prayed, I've fasted, I've cried, I stopped praying, you did not answer me. So I was in that place of whatever we be, we be. I was looking for that escape until I saw a video and I had conversations with people, and that is God mercy. The funny thing is that I've always had my answers in my journal because all those questions that I asked, if I had listened to the voice of God and released this video earlier on, I would have maybe remembered to watch this video again and have the response and renew my faith. So I'm going to discuss some of my findings with you. So I was telling God that I'm tired. I'm in this place of tiredness and I don't find joy. Nothing brings me peace or anything. So I told him, I'm going to do the things that I think I will find joy in. And he said, fine, you can go and do them because you have an excuse. I know what you've been through. I know what is happening with you. So if you do those things, I am not going to be angry. And he gave me examples that I can follow. He gave me an example in Daniel. He told me how it was not just Daniel that was taken to Babylon. There was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and other princes. In fact, they looked for the finest of them, people that had knowledge, people that knew what they were doing, and then brought them to the palace. And the king instructed that they were fed from his table. I mean, they are in a strange land. What do you expect them to eat? And I know that if many of us find ourselves in that situation, imagine if you visit someone and the only food that was offered to you is the food in that person's house. You have to eat because you are staying there for a long time. Some of these princes ate. But the only time the Bible recognized them was the time that they told us the people that were brought into the palace. But the only people that we know and heard their story to the end is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and also Daniel. Four people. These were the only people that we heard about them subsequently. Further in the book of Daniel, he told them they should plant, they should build, because they were going to be there for a long time. They should build in that foreign land. The reason why these people were significant later in the story is because they refused to conform. So he took me back to New Testament where he said we should not conform to this world. You have an excuse. You have an excuse to do whatever you want to do because I understand you're looking for peace, you're looking for response, you're looking for a way to feel alive. But I would rather prefer that you do not conform? Will I refuse to love you because you did all those things because you're looking for joy? He said no. God did not condemn those other princes that ate from the king's table. He didn't. He didn't. He still loved them. He still loved their children, that he saved them and brought them back to their land. I refuse to remove my relationship with God outside of the equation. I was rather projecting and looking his own relationship with other people. And those things brought heaviness, they brought anger, they brought questions, they brought a lot of things. Am I still there? No. I'm still walking this journey. But I want you to know that it is a step. Like I was not where I was yesterday. I found a better way to handle some of these things. And every day I'll keep seeking this way. So whatever situation, it could be grief, it could be discomfort, it could be financial crisis, it could be so much that sometimes your faith turns to hope. I just want you to remember one thing, that it is between you and God. Remember that God will excuse you, but to what extent do you want just excuse? Do you want a different result, or you just want God to excuse you and show you mercy, or you want to be relational with Him? Because if you, no matter how you fall, He will still save you. He has died, and that death is once and it's forever. As long as you ask for mercy, you, in fact, even if you don't ask, He will look for a way to give you that mercy. But if you want something different, if you want a story between you and him, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego had with him, like Daniel had with him, you have to understand that you do not have to conform. It is going to be tough. Myself, I'm still finding it hard. I'm still finding my foothold because I lost relationships. I lost so much in the space of me trying to understand. And the funny thing is that sometimes God has always given us a response to some of these things that we are going to go through before that time. But as soon as tribulation comes, we forget it. I know that my pastor, because I attend House on the Rock, has always been talking about when God is silent. Like, this is a series, but I forgot all those things. The position I find myself, I want to just encourage you to read your Bible, because at the time that you cannot pray, you cannot read your Bible, and that is the time that everything that you know would be brought back into your memory. You need something there that is godly, that God can bring back to your memory, so that you can remember who you are and not be prey and not be hopeless. I am certainly going to talk about how this season of my life affected my confidence and so many other things. And if you find this helpful, I think you should come back for many other videos I'm going to make on this topic of when you are feeling like God is silent, or when you stop existing, and how it affects your life. So remember, this channel is just a life-based channel. We are talking about everything that we're going through, our joy, our happiness, our work. Christ is the bedrock of everything, and everything that we've done is for the glory of God. If you're interested in something like this, please give me a follow, like, and share to people that you know are going through stuff and they feel like they are alone. People who are asking questions, is God real? This can be helpful to somebody. It might remind you of something that God once said. So I'm going to see you in the next one, and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.